Well, welcome everybody. Terry Palma is back, and it's another session of Conscious Gatherers with Bev, Royse, and Donna, and myself. Welcome. Sorry I missed last week, but I was on vacation with family, and it just made it difficult to get on when we were having dinner time. And I know that the ladies took care of things. I listened to it. It was a great show. I listened to the recording. I couldn't get in while you guys were live. But I really enjoyed the show. It was interesting listening to it and not being part of it. But I'm back. The ladies, are you all here?
We're here.
Yeah, there they go.
We're here.
So we meet on alternate Tuesdays for when we're live to kind of figure out, what's come through, what we're planning on doing, and go from there. So last Tuesday when we gathered, we talked about, we meditate and what comes through, and we're talking about current news, important news, bold news, say stuff that people might not be aware of, that things are coming around, and not necessarily, all in the spiritual world. And so I had brought up something to the group, and they said, yeah, share that with it. So the first thing on the subject here tonight, in our current news and bold news, is that most people don't know about this, and it's a law that was passed in 2017 about the ADA and WCAG compliant rules, and that's handicap compliancy. Businesses that need to be aware that they are having access to their buildings and their businesses for handicapped people. Well, in 2017, there was a law passed that websites need to be ADA compliant. And I didn't know about that. It was a couple of weeks ago I found out about that. And so, I have a team of coders and stuff. So I called my coding team and said, are you aware of this? And they said, yeah, but we didn't think much about it. I said, well, can you do a code and get websites ADA compliant? And they said, absolutely. So I had our Thrive website and my wife's Pilates of Greenville compliant within 24 hours. And here's the importance of why someone needs to do that. If you have a website and you're marketing anything or just have a website, you need to be ADA compliant. The rule was passed in 2017. Since then, there's been a 200% increase for suits and demand letters filed since 2017. That was during 2018. The Department of Justice affirms that ADA compliance to websites is mandatory since November of 2018. In 2019, the number of demands and lawsuits tripled from 2018, and there's over 150,000 demand letters, and a demand letter is someone that says they found a website that's not compliant. They have an attorney write up and demand that the website become ADA compliant, handicapped availability, and they have 14 days to comply. Otherwise, a suit will be enfolded. And those suits, so there are 150,000 demand letters served to businesses since 2017. That's a lot of demands. The most famous one and recent one that just happened was Domino's got sued, and they took it to court, and they lost. So Domino's appealed, did a petition to the Supreme Court, figuring, well, they're going to go there and take care of it. The Supreme Court denied hearing their petition and said, no, it's the law. There's no way around it. So if someone's going to serve you papers, which is very easy to do, and you don't comply within 14 days, you're subject to a lawsuit. 93% of the demand letters are settled outside of court, and they're anywhere in the range between $20,000 and $150,000. So I don't know about you all, but I know that our website and my wife's website, we couldn't afford $20,000 or $150,000, and we're not taking the chance. So if you went to ThriveSouthCarolina.com, that's all one word, or PilatesofGreenville.com, you'll be able to see right on the page, there'll be a pop-up on the right-hand side of a handicap sign. and you can click on that, and you'll see how a handicapped person can make that site accessible to them. It's an easy fix. And I wouldn't, it's several $100s, but it's a lot less than $20,000. So if you want more information on that, do your research. Go look up Domino's and the Supreme Court and that. But if you want to get a hold of me, because my coders can do it, you call 864-999-3008. Leave a message to say, Terry, I want to talk to you about ADA compliance, and I'll get back to you on that. But I think it's very, very important because right now when people, the COVID's put people inside, they don't have money, and this is an easy way for someone who's litigious to go find an attorney and just start looking at websites. I guarantee if they go to my website or my wife's website and they see that handicapped sign on it, they're going to go next and move along to someone that's a low-hanging fruit. So take it seriously. Do your own due diligence. There are other remedies out there besides the ones I have. I just know that my people can do it. They've done it, and I'm willing to help anybody that needs to have it done. So that's it for me right now, Bev. What else do you guys have?
Well, we've got quite a bit to share here. And so welcome, everybody. This is our episode 23, and today's date is August 25th, 2020. So thank you for explaining that, Terry. For those who do have websites, what does ADA stand for?
It's what does it stand? Basically, it's handicap compliance. I tell you the truth, right now I just can't think of what it means. But you look it up.
Okay.
It's the Disability Act is what it is. The DA on the back end is Disability Act, and I'm not sure what that front end stands for. Accessibility, I don't know. But you look that up. While you guys are talking, I'll look it up on the internet.
Okay, thank you.
It has to do with the Disability Act.
Well, Terry, I thought we'd bring up. Go ahead.
Yeah, it has to do, with the ruling in 2017.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go on. Going back to last Tuesday when we did our meditation, and I know, Terry, you got in big words because I wrote it down. Breaking news and be bold. So we're going to be bold in our talks here, and I know I was told to share it all. So, some of this stuff may be a little bit far out for people. It may not. I do ask for everybody to use their own discernment on everything that is shared. So I want to make that point, because I don't think we've made that point for quite a while. Because I use discernment on everything, even what I receive. So maybe that's just me, but it's, I want to get the truth out. And I want to share the truth, and we're here for humanity, the earth, ourselves, the cosmos, whatever terminology you want to use, we're here for it all. And we really feel passionate about what we're doing. So anyway, all right. One of the things I received, I'm Bev, one of the things I received last Tuesday or heard, allow your full essence to come forth. So that's what I'm going to talk about. And what I'm going to share with you is some of the things that I've written myself or just jotted down, as well as what I've heard within my merging consciousness. So I'll go ahead and share. We are at a juncture in what you call time. And time can mean many things. However, in this instance, we are calling this Your Plan 2020. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, Your Plan 2020. Like, okay. So each one of us has incarnated on this planet to bring about great changes, and we are witnessing them now. You think? That wasn't channeled. Anyway, we have decided to break down the old systems, and as most of us have said, we're done with this. I mean, how many times have we heard that, going back to that movie called Network many years ago? I'm not going to take this anymore, or something like that. And now we're hearing that on mainstream media, believe it or not. Anyway, as we have said on some of our other shows, we're done with the old programs, and we have repeated this many times, at least I have, that we have set this up, because I keep seeing that. We have set this up, as in Your Plan 2020. So, interesting, Your Plan 2020. Anyway, remember, know that there's no outer world, only our inner world, and each of us has our own inner world, and we're all linked into one because we are one. Therefore, what is our true reality? And what does this really mean? And notice reality and really have the word real within them. So it means that you are God or a force or whatever terminology you want to use. It means that you live in more than one reality at a time, because in reality there's no such thing as time. So people are now experiencing what appears to them that they are jumping timelines, and many of them are becoming conscious of doing so. I think we have discussed this already in some of our previous episodes, but we're going to go a little bit further into it. But remember, this is all in the now, but we continue to see our alternate timelines or dimensions. And I want to share what happened to me a few years back. My husband Rick passed away in 2012, and in 2015, I had some things happen, and I thought I would share. And that is, I would get my telephone, my landline would ring, and the caller ID said Thompson Richard Thompson, and it was the same. My phone was calling myself. Does that mean? So that's what came up was on the caller ID was my number, and I thought that was kind of odd. If I had answered, I'd just hear the dial tone. And now at the time I had ATT, and I've heard other people experiencing that. But anyway, it happened quite a few times, and over a period of probably a year or two. And finally I said, I wonder if Rick is trying to get a hold of me, and I'm not paying attention. And so I decided to pay attention. And so I did. I could see him. He was waving his arm in a sweeping motion, and he said, time collapse, to see through the veils, order of the stars. So I said, order suggests time. He says, order suggests dimensions. So he said, see the changes as such as dimension hop. It brings order to the earth world. And I asked, I said, what are you suggesting? He said, see the internal world, energy before form. Move it to your desire, your interest, like new visions. And I said, well, are you saying that we are on the precipice? And he said, precisely, and that he would assist me. So actually I was very tired that day, and so I said, can we continue later? So we did. And then I noticed, and I asked him, I said, your energy is so much different than what it was when you were in embodiment. And here's what he said. That happens when one moves out of their physical body and journeys on to other planes of existence. Another part of you takes in added personality. Note I added as the incarnation's personality or frequency signature doesn't change per se, but combines with other parts of self. Therefore, I speak more holistically, and that's spelled WHOLISTICALLY, as in whole. So what that says to me is we do have these merging consciousness. I'm able to channel and have for quite a few years, and so that's what I bring forth, a lot of my channeled writings, or interdimensional communication. Some people don't like the word channel, but it's the same thing as interdimensional communication within yourself. And it may be with other beings, that are your family or ascended masters or whatever. So that's what I want to share, and we have two people sitting here, Donna and Royse, and I would love to get your input.
Well, I was just, this is Royse, sorry. I was just thinking about the dimensions, and the way I look at the dimensions is it's really just one all-inclusive thing, as opposed to being broken up into a dimension plus another dimension plus another and so on. And I can understand that, knowing that the lower the vibration, the less of that fullness can be taken in by the human mind. And so when the vibration of the being is raised, you can perceive more of what was there all the time. So it's becoming more inclusive in what your understanding can take in. So that's my take on dimensions.
Yeah, I'd like to add something. Royse, that's very, I get a picture when you were talking of a filtering system. You know how let's just take granulars or stuff. The coarser or the larger that granular is, it's limited on how it can go through the filter. And the smaller, and in this point, higher vibration can be filtered through. So as you grow and you learn the coarseness of yourself, you drop off, and the refinement of yours is able to go through the layers and actually get, even though they're all there simultaneously at the same time.
Yes.
Love the analogy.
And and I'll add in related to that, this week here in the house, Bev has been having some fire alarms going off, smoke alarms going off, which has alerted us that we needed to sit down and do work. We finally figured that out because she replaced them with batteries and they're still going off at certain times. So we knew we needed to sit down and tune into what we needed to assist with, because that's our commitment to the universe, is we're here to help serve, bring everything to the highest, and at whatever level, whether it's dealing with human events or earth events or whatever. So, and I've been noticing since I've been doing this work for years, as have my sisters here, that it just goes through layers and layers where we're bringing the higher dimensional frequencies in to the realms here. And so it's very interesting what happened this week. Some major things happened that couldn't have happened before because the energies of the planet and humanity weren't ready for it. So this week, different things happened kind of through a filtering system, through a couple different planetary bodies out there via another galaxy. From that galaxy to, I don't know if how much I should say, but, to another planet, and then down to another one, and then it could come into the Earth because it had filtered out enough and the Earth could receive this new upliftment, which is such a key point right now, as we need a lot of changes on the planet, as we all know. And something that I've heard through the years is only the flowers will remain. Only the flowers shall remain, actually, is what a friend and I heard when we were driving around in the mountains out in California, actually. And all these magenta, bright flowers were shining, and they were talking to us. And so Linda and I were just pondering it because we were both hearing this, and then I became aware that what they were talking about is beings and energies that are soft and delicate and of the heart, like a flower. Yet flowers are strong. Just think how they can be in the radiant sunshine for hours and hours that we can't even take, and they stay colorful, and so the flowers shall remain. So the more that we can remain like flowers in our hearts and our beings, we shall remain and help continue to lift the frequencies here.
Well, thank you both. That was really interesting to hear that both of you talk about what we're experiencing, and also some of the visions I had actually in the last 2 days that you both answered And the filter. I saw a filter today, too, by the way, or a mesh, and I thought, whoa, and Terry's talking about it, then you guys talk about it. So it's like, oh, no wonder I saw that. So you start putting things together. It just makes it so much fun because when you see it, you're like, why am I seeing three of us hold a filter?
Oh, and something else about the timelines. I'm only jumping in because I know we have a certain amount of time. But the timelines for us all to know that we can make ourselves available to help shift things into the higher dimension and love vibration, and help shift out of this division and that energy that wants to divide people. So we can all shift that by staying in that heart of the flower and just being a flower. More could be said, but I think the call's about ready to end pretty soon. So I don't know how much time we have.
Fine.
But yeah, so just everybody, let's keep our hearts uplifted, our souls are, even amidst everything going on, the most we can by tuning in and being in that true reality, which is beyond all of this 3D parade show going on here. We want to be aware and definitely help change things here too, but to do that we have to stay centered in our hearts and the true reality.
Yeah. Well, we talked about the word reality, and you're bringing it up again. It's like, okay, what is the true reality? What's really true? And what I feel is the truth is really that we are love. And we're here experiencing. And so, we've talked about this in other episodes that, we experimented with the duality programs. We're saying enough with the duality programs. And so we have Your Plan 2020. Thought it was kind of funny what they said, but I thought it was pretty cool. But what is truth? And it's truth that we are a force and how empowered we are. In fact, I was rereading some of the things that I was given quite a few years ago in my book, and I had asked a question about aliens and the Greys or whatever it may be, and basically I was told that some of those species have great technologies, yet they don't have what the human has. And so they can only go so far up in dimensions. Their technology may bring them up to another dimension, but they can't stay there. This is what I remember being given a while back. But we as humans have it all. And it's for us to really realize that and again, how important we are. So anyway, true reality, we're love. We're the God force, whatever terminology you want. It's all, to me, it's the same thing.
Right, and there are actually energies out there that are, trying to cause all this division, so I've been really focusing on helping to neutralize them, and I've seen some of their shapes and figures, interestingly enough, over a certain town that I'm near that needs a lot of clearing. It was shocking what I saw, so I just was in the neutral zone and just sent that neutrality to it so it could drop its energy. And then a big thunderstorm occurred, and I was in that city and watched all that energy lift off and watched the storms and the lightning just cleared out, and everything felt different the next day. And I know other people have been seeing similar things and really just calling forth their angels, or however you want to work, like a band of angels. This one man travels around the different cities and just knows he's with the angels there to dissipate these dark energies, which, we can do, and I do too. I travel around and do a lot of this work, so I was so glad to hear him on the internet talking about it. And then I got my own vision of a precise thing over that city when I was there, and saw it just disband, because the energies are so powerful now. We can do this and not just succumb to what's going on around us. Call forth your power, your energy to help shift the weather, the fires, wherever you are, whatever's around you that needs shifting. You can just call it forth in the strength of your divinity, and do it with the team that's around us. Do it yourself with your power, the team that's around, the angels, whoever you want to call on, because we have a lot of help, and we're here to clear up and clean out the planet, and the time is now. The Plan 2020.
And there is another way of looking at this also, another way we can help. The more polarized energies get, the more hungry they become, because there's always that yearning for the center, because the center is from which we all come. And I received a poem. It was actually a prayer, a peace prayer from the Ancient of Days. I believe it was back in 2001. And I was trying to remember that today. I didn't bring it with me. And the middle part is, I remembered it, and I think it speaks louder than anything else. And it goes like this: let us give thanks to all things, to all men, to all activities, so that their hunger is no more.
Mm.
And so instead of reacting, that creates more polarity, and that makes the energies hungrier and hungrier. So giving thanks, that doesn't mean that you have to buy into it or give into it. It just means giving thanks. I acknowledge that you are there, whatever that energy is. And it's not hungry anymore. It's been acknowledged as being there. And so it doesn't have to be in that feeding mode, creating more polarity. So that's another way of getting back to the center.
Let me add something to that. A good for me, a good image of whether I'm being all that I can be and not judgmental. Imagine yourself on a scale, and at center point, when you're all balanced, can see and judge not, you're at that balance point in the middle. And when you start a judgment of whatever it is, you move to one side of that scale, and that scale goes down, the other side comes up. And that's really what we're all here to learn, because we're in the world of duality, of opposites. And anytime you find yourself on any particular side of an argument, or leaning one way towards a thought pattern, you've already gone into the dichotomy and have left center and balance. And the more often that you can be in the center and be balanced, you can see all what's real, as we said, reality, and know that it's just two different sides trying to pull you to their side to get away from the other side, that they're right, they're wrong, or whatever. So stay neutral, stay centered, stay focused, and stay in the middle of that pendulum so that there's no rocking down or up on either side. Right.
And I want to say in agreement, because I'm not sure how it came across what I said before, because this is what I find is effective too, literally, in, like I talked about the city and the form that I saw over it. It wasn't by being in battle with it. It was by being in the neutral zone, in the eye of God, so to speak, or in your heart, and just spending that energy there. And then it was just, and adding gratitude to be good too. It's just being in that neutral zone that's beyond the polarities, really, and sending that energy out, and it literally dissolved. So, we've had a lot of experiences actually doing that, and it works when we're in that zone. Our lives just unfold with many miracles, actually, by being guided and things just manifesting. So, I love what everybody's added and how they've said it, in different ways. Thank you, Terry.
When the polarization and the dichotomy goes away, then what is that? That's the integration. So that's what the show has been about tonight.
Yes, the integration.
Yep. And that's what we're doing. It's allowing our full essence to come forth and understand who we are and love ourselves. We could say it over and over and over again, but we are love. We are light.
Yeah.
And is to truly realize it and realize there's another real. What is reality? What's real? What's realized? All these words we use have real in them. and because we're always looking for the truth, and the truth can be very simple.
And the flowers, like the other night, we were feeling a lot of energy coming in the house, and then we were seeing flowers like roses forming, and so like you can just pick a flower you love, whether it's a rose or lily or whatever, and just hold it in your heart and be that flower and just feel it blooming in your life, Just one idea for people looking for ideas. But yeah, the power of the flower.
I like that. The power of the flower.
Bev, to answer your question about the ADA, that's the federal act. It's the Americans with Disability Act.
Okay.
It was passed in 1990, which will prohibit discrimination against those with disabilities. And in 2010, the U.S. Department of Justice passed the Americans with Disability Act, Standards for Accessible Design. And that's, both design for physical buildings to have ramps and stuff, and now with websites to have the availability for people who might be, hearing loss or stuff like that. So that's what it is. Americans with Disability Act is what that ADA stands for.
Okay. So the ADA, you integrate that into your website.
Yeah.
And it serves all.
It's a simple fix. If you went to pilatesofgreenville.com, which is my wife's website, or thrivesouthcarolina.com, all spelled out, no abbreviations, you'll see. It's literally a handicap logo on your website that's clickable. And when you click on it, other accessible things. So a disabled person is using a specialized computer, and when they go there, they'll know that that's there. But the main thing is, someone has gotten off balance, and they're looking for money and an easy target, which if you go to 10 websites tonight, not one of them will be handicap compliant. I can trust. I've done the research. And that's because people just don't know. And it makes them an easy target for a simple, lawsuit, which could cost them their business, very easily. And it's avoidable. It's a very easy fix if you know what you're doing, And we charge my team charges $379. It's an annual fee, and and then after that, the second year and thereon, it's only $197 to maintain it. So it's not that expensive compared to a $20,000 or $150,000 lawsuit, which most small businesses, it would throw them out of business to do that.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that, and I'm sure a lot of people are now going to look at their websites a little bit differently and to be compliant and integrate again into their website.
There's other solutions. Other people, I've seen monthly fees at $49 a month. Companies doing it, So there's just different ways, different people to do it out there. So the most important thing is not who's going to do it for you and fix it. The most important thing is get it done. And get it done right away, so that you're just one more thing you don't have to worry about, and it takes you off the low-hanging fruit that litigious people are going to go look for.
All right. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Terry. Well, do we have any listeners? Live listeners on our channel tonight? Are there any questions from anybody? Nope.
No, I don't hear anybody.
Nope.
So does anybody have anything else we want to share, or should we call it a night?
I think we're at that point, and I think we shared quite a bit, and understanding that, again, we're getting rid of those old programs, and this is our plan 2020. Or I was told your plan 2020, and even as you all know, when 2020 started, people were anxious for this year because they said, okay, I'm done with 2019. 2019, they said, I'm done with 2018, and in 2018, they said, I'm done with 2017. So it tells you about all these old programs that are being played out. And so 2020, obviously, is to see with clearer vision.
Clear vision.
So, and it's happening even though, and we're seeing all the turmoil. So it's really interesting, and we're starting to neutralize that. All right, thank you all. I appreciate you all listening with us tonight. And Terry, or Donna and Royse have any last words?
Have a wonderful 2 weeks.
Yep,
Yes.
see you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
All right.
Take care, everybody. Have fun out
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
there. Okay, good. I'm going to turn on Fox, okay?